All right. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here with you. This is our, I think, sixth session of leadership skills for women in Nepal and India. So I want to introduce all of you to Harini. Harini is here today. She's going to be joining some of the sessions on Saturday mornings to help us. So if you have any questions and type in the chat box, Harini will be helping you to answer your questions or kind of clarify whatever any questions that you have. Okay, so feel free to keep messaging as I'm speaking, or if I'm not looking at the chat, Harini will be looking at the chat and can answer your questions. All right. So this is the leadership series, and we focused it on educators. Some of the educators are teachers, and some of the educators are people who are providing teaching leadership skills to other women in Nepal and India. And for those of you who are teachers, I want to be able to provide this to maybe your people in your neighborhood, your friends, your cousins, your family members. Leadership skills is something that anybody needs to learn to be able to have a better personal and professional life, find better jobs, make more money, get promotion. So I want you to share all the videos that I send you through email. So now we are creating a YouTube channel called Climb Your Everest, and all these videos are on it. So I haven't posted them as public, so they are not available for public. It is just for our group. And so feel free to share it with other people that you think can benefit from these videos. And all the people who are instructors in any of these classes so far, they are volunteers of Climb Your Everest nonprofit organizations based in the United States. And so feel free to leave a feedback for me, send us questions. I want these classes to be dynamic, collaborative. I don't want to be the only person talking or coming up with ideas. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me, Sarah, we don't want to, I think if we talk about this topic is way better. We can use it more. It can benefit us more, right? Because you know yourself, your culture, your problems, and your concerns a lot more than me. And I want you to keep giving me feedback. If we talk about a topic, like in the past few weeks, we talked about class management for teachers, and it kind of, that topic can be used with anybody who's teaching any sort of classes. Or we talked about financial literacy, how to deal with money. That's something anybody on the planet can use that topic, right? Because education towards financial literacy is not very good throughout the whole planet. It is not just Nepal and India. Even in the US, I think a lot of kids need to be educated for financial literacy. So these are the topics you can share with anyone to be able to benefit from it. So just feel free to share any of these topics. All right, so I prepared this PowerPoint slide that hopefully I'm gonna be emailing this to all of you, so you can later on use it or share with somebody else. And eventually my request would be to asking you to start practicing teaching these topics to other people. And there's going to be I don't want to see a test, but I want to see your performance. I want you to present one of these topics in front of us for 45 minutes, and kind of so we can start working on your presentation skills regarding any of these topics. Okay, so the topic that I picked for today is self-confidence. So the very first thing we want to talk about is the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem, right? So some people, sometimes we mix them up. Self-esteem is how we feel about ourselves, how we value ourselves. On the other hand, self-confidence is more into doing and ability, right? So like, if I know that I can go learn a new language, That's I have self-confidence in learning a new language. But self-esteem is, do I value myself? Do I rest? Do I take care of myself? Do I see myself as a valuable so that people treat me well, right? And then there are different ways to work on self-esteem and self-confidence, which we're going to be talking about. The research shows 80% of the people on the planet lack self-confidence, right? So 80% is a big number. And I think between the women, the number is even bigger. I don't know the exact number. I just don't want to give a number that I don't know. And then there are different research, but I want to say the average is somewhat around 80%. So I just want you to think about it. Like every day in our life, so many things happen, from work and home and communication with our loved ones and our neighbor and our boss and manager. And we need that self-confidence to be able to actually communicate what we really think, what we really want, right? And a lot of times we don't have that confidence, and we decide to say the things that we try to please other people rather than actually thinking about, okay, what can I do, like what I really want? How can I be true to myself? So, and then it brings us to the concept of self-efficacy as well, which is an individual beliefs about their capacity to influence the events in their own lives. So is it me that I'm really influencing the events in my life? Or, other people have power over it? It's because of my aunt and uncle and other people that my life is the way it is right now. Am I a victim of the situation, or I can change my life? So definition of self-confidence, we talked about it. Self-confidence help us to successfully, when we have a higher self-confidence, we can successfully face day-to-day challenges, because I believe that I am capable of impacting my life. I'm capable of doing certain things, okay? Actually, if I don't want to share it because I want to share as a big screen, because if I share it as a big screen, then I won't be able to see your faces. So that's why I'm sharing it in this form. Okay, so that I put a link here. When I send you the this PowerPoint slide, I want you to copy paste this Rosenberg self-esteem scale. And this is a mini test. I want you to take this test for yourself and measure your self-esteem. And maybe like next time we can discuss this together. But even if you cannot find it, if you type in Google Rosenberg self-esteem scale or test or questionnaire, this should come up and you should be able to take the test. All right, so why self-confidence is important? I mean, it's obvious, but let's just go over some of these. So when we have higher self-confidence, we know we are capable of taking care of ourselves. We take care of ourselves. We have better health. We have better social lives. It protects us against mental disorders and social problems. We can cope with different scenarios, situation, challenges better in a healthier way. We have mental well-being. We are better at education, better at work, better at the school, at workplace, with family. We have higher job satisfaction. We have higher satisfaction in life, because when we have confidence, the confident person is usually a person, they share, they say what they want, what they really think, right? So then as a result of more satisfaction, it means higher levels of happiness, and then increased chances of survival after serious surgical procedure. This was a very interesting research, that people who are confident, they trust themselves and they know they can heal. So if they have higher self-confidence, there's a higher chances for them to recover from a surgery or a bad disease. So let's look at some tips on how we can build our self-confidence. Accepting yourself. Like one of the things, probably you've seen pictures everywhere or you watched videos about self-confidence, is that like people go in front of the mirror and they start kind of negatively talking about their image. Like, this is an issue, this is another issue, this is another issue, I look like, right? So when we have self-confidence, we know that we accept ourselves, right? So that's number one. How many people here, raise your hand, don't be shy. You go in front of the mirror and you start talking negatively about yourself. Yeah. Sushmita, Sarita, Saraswati, do you guys want to share? Like, what do you do when you go in front of the mirror? Do you talk positively about yourself or negatively? Anybody wants to share? No? Sushmita, Sarita, Saraswati.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Eleanor.
Yeah, Sarah, not now, but when I gave birth to my child, uh, we have to go through that cycle when we get married, right? So the total body shape I got changed.
Yeah,
Like in the process of pregnancy, we change our body. So then I used to think a little bit negatively, why, what happened to me, can this be changed?
right.
But I had that confidence that I can regain my shape,
Yeah,
and I had exercised so much,
right.
so I got back to my shape.
Like, yeah,
But that phase was challenging to every woman. Some people regain it, and some people don't.
right.
So they still remain in that depression and in that postpartum depression, they call it. So main causes, they change their bodies because they give birth to child.
Yeah,
So that was the phase I wanted to share.
right. Yeah, that's a very good example, and that's something a lot of women go through that, and that's kind of impacts their self-confidence. That was a very good example. Thank you, Eleanor. So how else we can build our self-confidence is having a healthy lifestyle, defining manageable small goals in our life. Because every time that you set yourself a small goal and you actually accomplish it, you're kind of telling your brain, I'm capable of doing this. So your neurons in your brain who are responsible for that action, they get connected, and their connection gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And every time that their connection gets stronger, it means it kind of the pathway, it is much easier for your brain, your neurons in your brain to kind of think that way, which means I'm capable, I can do this, right? So defining a small goal. So let's say you want to lose 2 kilos or 5 pounds, whatever the number is. If you divide it down into very small number, right? Or I want to run, Farini is a runner, so I want to run this many miles. If you divide it down into very small number of miles that you are 100% sure you're capable of doing it, but not kind of 100%, just keep it just a little challenging, just a little, that it still is motivating and inspiring and challenging, but not in a level that you're like, I really have to train for the goal, for the little goal, not even the big goal, right? So that really helps for our brain, for our neurons pathways to get stronger in terms of that specific activity. And then little by little, then become better and better and better at it, and more and confident. Like when I started mountain climbing, I didn't start from the biggest mountain. I just climbed mountains, like a smaller mountains, and eventually I build up to Everest, right? So because every time that I was climbing a mountain that was a little smaller, then I would gain confidence, right? And avoiding comparing yourself to others. So there were so many amazing mountain climbers in the world. If I wanted to compare myself to others, I would be crying at home thinking I'm not capable of doing anything in my life, right? So I had to keep thinking or comparing myself with myself. Like keep thinking, this is my path. I'm very new in it, right? So I'm just going to do the things that I can, and I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to make fun of myself. I'm not going to think I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. I cannot do this, right? I'm not going to go to the negative side. I just keep accepting myself, empowering myself, not comparing myself with others. Okay. And that's how I built my confidence. You cannot believe this, but I had such a low self-confidence before. Very low. I cannot even imagine myself, but I remember like 10 years ago, I had a very low self-confidence and I had to work on it. So it is not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. It is like you don't go to the gym, work out for one day and you say, oh, I have strong muscles. No, you keep going back and you keep working out. You keep doing this until you get muscles. Self-confidence is a muscle. You have to keep at it, keep working on it. It is not overnight. It takes years. And the only way you can accomplish it is being consistent, persistent, committed to building your self-confidence and to get there. Any questions so far? Anybody wants to say, like, maybe an example in your life that you didn't have a very high self-confidence, but over the years or after practicing a certain thing, you learned how to work on your confidence or how to have a better confidence?
I have an example. So 7 months back, like it's again with respect to my physical fitness and health related stuff. So 6 months ago, when I started lifting, I used I was in a shape where I couldn't even do like one push-up. So I used to feel that, okay, I'm very weak. I don't have, like stronger arms and things like that. But then, as you mentioned, I just stuck with it. I was consistent. I was hitting the gym almost every day. And towards the end of 3-4 months, I was able to do 20 at a time. And at the end of 6 months, I was able to do 40 at a time. And then I realized, okay, if we just like stick with it and believe in ourselves and like make my small progress, then we would eventually get to a place where we want to be. And I have similar experiences in running too. I've never run, and I was able to go from couch to half marathon in 3 months. So I think it's all about that my small progress that and consistency, as you mentioned, for
That's
sure.
great. That's a great example. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's good. So we want to look at now ways to improve self-esteem. So some of them are very similar with confidence. So I'm not going to mention those. I'm going to mention those that are kind of I'm looking at them and it seems like we're not going to talk about this in the next future slides. So I'm choosing some of them, but when you're looking at it or practicing, you can practice all of them. So we talked about complimenting yourself regularly. So this is not part of our culture. We don't compliment ourselves. They always tell us, be humble, never start kind of compliment yourself, compliment others, but not yourself, right? So this is not something, we don't do affirmations. It is not something. So I want to encourage everybody here to start using positive affirmation for yourself. Go in front of the mirror, or even your phone, and talk to yourself positively. We haven't learned that. We haven't practiced that in our lives. We don't see it on TV, at school. We never see that. So start teaching that to your kids. Start teaching that to your students. Start teaching it to your parents, to your siblings, to your neighbors, everybody. That's the problem of the world. Like we talk negatively about ourselves. We always go to others and I say, look at my hair. It's so short. I wish I had longer hair, right? I never say, I'm like, oh, my hair is perfect. I just want everybody to know my hair is perfect. And I love my hair, right? It's like kind of the thing of the world where people, they're not used to complimenting themselves, and that impacts our self-esteem. So I want you from now on, go in front of the mirror for 1 minute every day, and talk positively about yourself. List your positive qualities. What are your positive qualities? I am smart. I am intelligent. I am good in cooking. I'm good in programming. I'm a good architect, Eleanor. I am a good mom, right? Everything that you're good at, just say it out loud to the mirror, to yourself, look into your eyes and say that. And focus on your accomplishment. I'm not saying only focus on positive and only focus on accomplishment and forget about all the negatives in the world. No, I'm just saying how you used to eat every day, right? This is part of your habits. Everybody, all of us, we eat every day. That's our habit. This is necessary for our body. For our mental health, you need to go in front of the mirror 1 minute every day and talk positive about yourself. It's as important, right? I'm not saying forget about all the negativity in the world. No, that's there. I mean, we all are aware of it. But 1 minute positive affirmation to yourself. Ask for support, ask for help. So a lot of times we feel like, what if I ask a question right now and my question doesn't sound very smart and everybody makes fun of me? What if I ask for help from Sarah and then, she says no, and then, so we make up stories and scenarios in our mind. But instead of thinking about all of that, you could just send me an email and ask me, Sarah, I need this. Can you help me? And then I either say yes or no. Nothing will happen. Our relationship doesn't disappear all of a sudden, right? So I just want you to start getting used to asking for help if you need it, asking for support from anybody, from neighbors, aunts and uncles, and other people. And that support that builds your confidence and your self-esteem. Because what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is you seeing your own value. When you ask for help and support, it shows that you're seeing your value, right? Because now you're saying, I have so much value that I can ask others for help because I'm valuable. Does it make sense? Any questions about that? Hi, Raju.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Sushmita, Sarita, Saraswati, any questions? Because your camera is off, I don't see you. Tell me, unmute yourself and tell me if you have any questions. Okay, so we move on. All right. So, do you guys see that red line, or it is just my computer?
We see it.
You see it? Okay. I think by mistake I did that. Okay. Let me see if I can delete it. No, I can't. All right. I think I did it by mistake. Sorry. Okay. Freedom from fear and anxiety. So you might say, but when I want to be confident, fear and anxiety is attacking me, and I cannot be as free and as confident as I really want to be. What should I do? So fear exists to protect us from physical danger. So when you were little, or let's say 1 million years ago, the first humans on the planet, because of lions and tigers and everything, all the wild animals, because they were supposed to protect themselves, you were all supposed to have the instinct. We still have them, right? Instinct to prevent ourselves from being eaten by a predator, right? So that fear was necessary for us to survive and stay alive. So fear is a good thing that keep us alive. But then now there is no lion attacking you right now, right? So when you feel that fear of should I share something right now in front of others on the camera, or I should stop and not talk because what if other people judge me, right? I'm saying this for the quiet people here in the room. So if you have that fear and anxiety, that's normal. We all have them. And it's the oldest part of our brain called amygdala. Amygdala is a part of that brain who makes those sort of decisions, which is, okay, you know what? I'm not going to risk it, because if I risk it, the brain decides that. If I risk it, then, what if other people make fun of me? What if people don't love me? What if people judge me? What if I'm not smart enough? I'm not supposed. Like, all these fears come up, and it makes us scared of other people's judgments and opinions, which it is fake. It doesn't exist, which prevents us from pushing ourselves outside our comfort zone, right? So we stop taking risks. We kind of try, our amygdala, the oldest part of the brain, wants us to live a very safe, small life. Because if we do something big out of our comfort zone, we might not survive it. It's scary, right? What if I go to this, like a million years ago, when people wanted to go to this jungle next to their house that they've never been, and then an animal would come attack them. So that fear, that instinct would help them to survive, right? But now we don't need that. So whenever your brain, you experience fear and anxiety, your brain tells you not to do anything. I want you to stay strong, stay confident, be free from self-doubt, trust yourself, and try to take it to the next step. So here I have a picture of top of the world, and I wish I could move this red line. I don't know how. I guess when I was making a PDF, maybe I put it here. Okay, so this is a picture of top of the world. That's a picture of Everest, which I submitted exactly last year, right now. So exactly last year at this moment, I was standing there. So right now is the anniversary of my Everest summit. So I guess, that's right now is a very special moment, to be honest. but the reason I'm showing you this picture is that I'm looking at this picture. You might see, oh, she's standing on top of Everest, but I experienced a lot of fear and anxiety and self-doubt before getting up there. But if I let all those fear, anxiety, and self-doubt to decide for me, to live my life for me, I wouldn't be up here at the top of the world. The only reason I could make it to the top was that because every time the fear came, the self-doubt came, I just had to put it aside and continue climbing and continue taking the next step. So now I want to hear from you. What is something in your life that you are thinking about it, you want to do it, but you're feeling fear, anxiety, or self-doubt, and you want to be able to put it aside to be able to achieve your goals? I want to hear from you. Eleanor, Harini, Raju, Sushmita, Sarita, Saraswati, any of you.
I have multiple such things. One is stand in the same place where you are in that photo.
Yeah. Very soon. Yeah. Eleanor, any goals, any big goals you have? Raju, any big goals you have that you're experiencing fear and anxiety and self-doubt?
My big goal is to be great teachers in future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to be as like you, speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Speak in front of the mass. I think I need a little more practice.
Good.
So
Good.
that is my goal.
That's great. That's great. How about you, Eleanor?
My goal is to become a famous architect.
Nice.
So yeah, I want, like you said, I want to fulfill small goals and then reach out to the bigger goal. Maybe I'm doing little by little. Maybe
Good.
one day, yeah, uh, I might become famous.
Good.
Maybe.
Good. That's
Yeah.
great. That's a good goal. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next slide. What I want to tell you is the posture. So one of the things, one of the ways we can work on our confidence is fake it until you make it, right? So a lot of times we forget about our body postures. Like we are confident inside, but the way we are sitting or the way we are communicating, it doesn't show confidence, right? So I want you, like right now, everybody sit straight, confidence. Like think, if I'm extremely confident, how would I sit? Like usually shoulder back, back is straight, right? Very confident. So I want you to kind of experience it and keep reminding yourself or keep reminding your students and others, your kids, people around you. Keep reminding them that a big part of our the way we look at things or the way our mind thinks about things is how our body is experiencing. So if you're slouching all the time and you're thinking confidence, that doesn't work because the brain checks the body. If the body is slouching and kind of you're looking down or looking at the ceiling all the time when you're talking with people with no eye contact, then you're really telling your brain, I don't have confidence, even though you keep thinking, I have a lot of confidence. So body postures are very important, okay? Mindfulness, meditation, yoga, these are also very important for us to be grounded. Because then if you're kind of all over the place, if you cannot focus on and bring all your thoughts together, then you wouldn't feel that feeling of groundedness, being whole and complete, sharing your thoughts. So I know some of you already do a lot of those, but I want you to kind of talk about under the umbrella of self-confidence. I want to think about how important mindfulness, practices of mindfulness, meditation, yoga, focusing on your breathing, right? Being aware of your body, being aware of your sensations, the smell, hearing, touch, like all the body. That's so important for us to work on mindfulness, be grounded, and have a better confidence. Visualization. So even when you're sitting at home and you have nothing to do or you're trying to sleep, I want you to visualize yourself being a confident person or doing something confidently. For example, you want to go talk to your manager tomorrow, talk to your boss tomorrow, talk to your neighbor tomorrow and ask for something. I want you to rehearse the conversation in your brain and visualize yourself, have a mental image of yourself, and look at yourself as a confident person standing in front of your manager and confidently communicating what you want to say. Or principal, for those of you who are teacher, you want to talk with the principal of the school and you're all over the place. Like, I want you to sit down, focus, visualize yourself, imagine yourself confidently communicating with the person that is important for you. So visualization, imagining yourself as a confident person is very important as well. Give yourself permission to be in the process, take risks and make mistakes. So a lot of times we don't want to make mistakes. That's why we don't take risks, because we are scared of other people judging us, right? So we wait and we wait and we wait for this perfect time to start something new or do something different. We don't want to break out of our comfort zone because it's scary, right? Or we're like, no, I'm comfortable. This is okay. I'm comfortable here. I don't want to take risks, right? So I want you to pick one project in your life that is scary, that is actually make you sweat, make you think twice about telling others what you want to do. It is outside your comfort zone. It is challenging. And you have a hard time telling people around you that this is something you want to do. I remember 10 years ago when I told people that I want to climb Everest, they made fun of me. They said, you cannot do this. Why do you want to do this? It doesn't make sense. Just go back and live your normal life. Why do you want to do something crazy? Just have kids, just have babies. You know, like, because people get scared when you give them something out of your comfort zone, when you want to take risks, right? So I want everybody to think about this one project in your life that it is risky, that it is something out of your comfort zone, that makes you sweat, okay? Can everybody think of that right now? Harini, you send me all of them, so I know all of yours. All right, I wanna, Raju mentioned that she wants to be a speaker. Does that make you feel a little scared, or is it out of your comfort zone?
Yeah, it is out of my comfort zone because when I want to speak in front of the 4 people, I get really scared. Like, as you say, they will judge me, they will think what I told to them. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is how it feels. It feels like you're doing something crazy. You're walking on a rope with high heels.
Yeah.
I can't even walk on a normal ground with high heels. I have no idea how she's doing it in that picture. All right, great. All right, making mistakes and dealing with failure. So a lot of times we are scared of making mistakes because we are scared of other people judging us. So I want you to make mistakes. I want everybody here to be very comfortable with making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. That's totally normal. We are not supposed to know everything from the beginning. We are supposed to make mistakes, right? So I want you to make mistakes and keep forgiving yourself for making mistakes, because the only way you can grow, learn, be better is making mistakes. Okay? All right. Clarity of goals. So one reason that sometimes it is hard for us to take the next step is that our goals are not very clear for us. It seems like, you know, I'm not sure if I want to go left or right. I want to read a book, but I don't know which book, how many pages, how many days, how many hours. So I want you to clarify your goals, divide them into very small pieces, right? So, and then that way it is easier for you to accomplish your goals. So your homework for today is that everybody, I want you to think of one goal and divide it down into small pieces, very small, something that you can do every day easily, very small pieces, and start taking steps towards it. Conclusion: self-confidence takes work to build, develop, and maintain. We all experience moments which challenge our confidence. However, when we understand the source of healthy self-confidence, we can always work on cultivating it within ourselves. It is not easy to be a confident person. It takes time and energy. But I want everybody to trust yourself that with enough persistence, commitment, you can all do this. All right. So this is a PowerPoint slide. I want you to review it at least once a week, not for hours, even 5 minutes. Reading an article about self-confidence, kind of researching it, talking with other people about it, having friends and people around you who are confident, who are your role model, who you can look up to them and become more confident, right? But we have a neuron in our brain called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons' responsibility is to mirror other people around you. So if you hang out with confident people, the mirror neuron in your brain just mirrors them. So you become more confident. If you have a lot of friends with low self-confidence, you end up becoming a person with low self-confidence. So find people around you who have high self-confidence. If you don't have anyone around you with high self-confidence, make a group of people and help everybody in that group to increase their self-confidence. So then you have a group of friends with higher self-confidence. Okay? You don't hang out with people who are negative. They don't want to grow. They want to stay the same for the rest of their life. Just put them aside. There are plenty of people in the world who want to grow and be better. Don't waste your time on people who don't want to grow. If you're working on your self-confidence, you want to find friends who want to work on their self-confidence and they want to be better. Okay, I have some questions for you here. I'm going to be asking these questions from you next week. So I want you to look at these questions, think about them, and then I'll ask these questions next week. Or you can email me the answer for these questions whenever you want to, before next Saturday, okay? And here is the references. This is where I got all this slides from. All right, let me stop sharing. Any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Oh, thank you for I just saw the chat. Thank you for all the congratulations. Yeah, right now, last year, I was standing up there. That's kind of thinking about it. I can't believe it's been a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Even though it feels like it was since last year until now, it feels like it's been like 5 years ago, but it was just a year ago. So it is very special. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Raju, do you have a question?
Yeah, ma'am. How can we know the people are of negative types?
So when you are positive, when you want to work on something new, if when you want to, let's say you develop a new habit, do something out of your comfort zone, they are not supportive of you. They're like, no, don't do it. Why do you want to do it? Just live a normal life. You know, this is Sarah telling you from US. This is a US bullshit. Don't do it. This is Nepal, you know. Like, no, don't listen. Doesn't matter. This the whole world is kind of the same. In terms of who's confident, who's not confident. Confidence is confidence. Doesn't matter where you live. Having a better job is having a better job. Speaking in front of others, being a good teacher, it's everywhere. Everywhere it's the same, right? So if they are not supportive of you, those are the people you kind of don't want to hang out. Or help them. Tell them, you know, I want to change my life and I want to help you to change your life. If they try it a bunch of times, ask them. If they end up never responding positively, then there are so many great people out in the world that you can grow with.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Okay, I'll send the video and I send the slides for you in probably 2 different emails. And tonight, the class tonight wouldn't be self-confidence. The class tonight is time management because we have a guest speaker and she could only do Saturday night. So that's why I'm inviting her for Saturday night. So if you come back again tonight, the topic tonight would be time management. And I'm going to record her and get her a slide. And throughout the week, I'll send you that as well. So you're going to have access to 4 different slides and 4 different, 4 different emails, 2 different topics. All right. If you don't have any topics, have a beautiful Saturday. You are more than welcome to join Saturday night at 8 p.m. Nepal time. And please make sure to watch all the videos that I've been sending you in the past few weeks regarding different topics about leadership skills and women's empowerment. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'll see you next Saturday or maybe later tonight. Bye.
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 Bye, Sarah.
Bye. Bye.